What if being smart is actually holding your career back? Imagine two employees. Both are intelligent, both work hard, both understand their jobs. But 5 years later, one is managing a team, earning significantly more, and getting invited into important conversations. The other is still the person everyone goes to when something difficult needs to be solved. And here's the strange part. The second person may actually be smarter. So why does this happen? Because careers don't always reward intelligence. They reward what other people can see, understand, and trust. And that creates the first uncomfortable rule. Being the person who knows the most doesn't automatically make you the person who gets promoted. Think about the employee everyone depends on. Whenever something breaks, they call them. When there's a complicated problem, they solve it. When nobody understands the data, they explain it. They're indispensable. And that sounds like a compliment. But sometimes, being indispensable in your current role is exactly what keeps you trapped in it. Because leadership isn't asking, who is the smartest person here? They're asking something very different. Who can operate at the next level? And those are not the same question. Imagine an engineer who spends every week fixing the same problem. They're brilliant. They know every detail of the system. But another employee notices something different. Instead of becoming better at fixing the problem, they redesign the process so the problem happens less often. The first person becomes the expert everyone needs. The second becomes the person the organization can trust with something bigger. That's the difference between being useful and being scalable.
And here's where smart people often make another mistake. They assume good work will speak for itself. It doesn't. Work produces results, but people produce interpretations of those results. Imagine you complete an important project and quietly move on to the next one. Your manager sees a completed task. Now imagine someone else completes a similar project, but clearly communicates the problem they solved, the impact it created, and what could happen next. Suddenly, leadership doesn't just see activity, they see impact. The work may be identical, the perception isn't. This isn't about bragging. It's about making your contribution visible enough to be understood. Because if people don't understand your value, they can't reliably reward it. Now, here's another reason smart people get overlooked. They often wait until they're completely ready. They think, I need more experience first. I need to know more. I'll speak up when I'm certain. Meanwhile, someone with average technical ability volunteers for the difficult project. They lead the meeting. They make decisions. They ask questions. They occasionally get things wrong. But every time they step forward, people get a glimpse of what they could become. And that creates a powerful psychological effect. People don't promote the person with the most potential. They often promote the person whose potential they have already seen in action. That's why confidence can sometimes beat confidence. Not because confidence is more valuable, but because confidence makes competence easier to notice. And there's an even deeper problem. Smart people sometimes believe that workplace decisions are purely rational. They're not. Your manager isn't a spreadsheet. They're a human being. They remember who stayed calm during a crisis, who communicated clearly when things became difficult, who made other people feel confident, who took ownership without being asked, and who made their own job easier. These impressions accumulate. Eventually, someone isn't just good at their job. They become known as reliable, then capable, then someone leadership can trust. And trust changes everything. Because a promotion is not simply a reward for what you did yesterday. It's a decision about what someone believes you'll do tomorrow. This is why an average employee with strong communication, ownership, visibility, and emotional control can sometimes move faster than a brilliant employee. The smartest person in the room may solve the hardest problem, but the person who gets promoted may be the one who can make the entire room perform better. And this doesn't mean intelligence doesn't matter. It matters enormously. But intelligence is only one part of career success. You also need translation. Can you explain complex ideas simply? Can you connect your work to business outcomes? Can you influence people without making them feel small? Can you make decisions without needing perfect information? Can you solve problems without becoming the person everyone depends on forever? Perhaps most importantly, can people already imagine you doing the job you're asking to be promoted into? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Your career is not built only by the quality of your work. It's built by the story your organization tells itself about you. If the story is, they're brilliant, but they need direction, you may stay where you are. If the story becomes, they see problems before others do, people trust their judgment, they make the team better, they're already operating at the next level, then the promotion starts feeling less like a risky decision and more like an obvious one. So don't stop becoming smarter. Become easier to trust. Don't stop solving difficult problems. Start preventing them. Don't wait for someone to notice your value. Learn to communicate your impact. And don't spend your entire career proving how good you are at the job you already have. Start showing what you would look like in the job you want next. Because sometimes the person who gets promoted isn't the smartest person in the room. It's the person who makes everyone else believe they're ready for a bigger room. And that may be the difference between being the employee everyone and becoming the leader everyone remembers.